everyone, and welcome to the channel, DIY in a Suit. Today I'm going to be installing vinyl plank flooring. I already put down some concrete self-leveler to give it a nice base. I just have to put down an underlayment underneath this, and that's going to help with moisture and also from keeping the floor from being cold. It's kind of like a temperature control, because these concrete floors will get pretty cold in the winter out in this room. So we want the floors to be a little bit warmer, and so that underlayment should help with that. All right, it's time to install the first piece. We were able to take off all of the old trim around the baseboard, but this one I didn't want to take off. So I'm just going to use my oscillating tool and use the panel as a guide and cut the board so that this will slide underneath it. Battery died. All right, back with the new battery. Here we go. Just the first piece out. All right, so it does fit. So now it's time to get the underlayment. I'm gonna start that process and then start locking these together. Unrolling the underlayment. First piece going in. It does say to use 1/4-inch spacers in between the wall and the new flooring. I have a bunch of these leftover 1/8-inch spacers from when I tiled my bathroom floor a while back, so I'm just going to stack 2 of them together in between the wall and the floor. I started this flooring project last night just to kind of get it underway and get something started before I did the full install today. Started at the wall and started with a half piece at the very end. So when I got to the far end here, there was only about a 6-inch piece, and I didn't want there to be that small of a piece just to start the first row. So I cut the first piece in half, started with that, and then was planning on using the leftover piece to start the next row, but that ended up being too small too. So now my plan is to just pretty much do random pieces. Whenever I have a piece left over, I'll just put that in my pile of starting the next one down. So I've got 2 rows down right now, and time to start the 3rd row and get this flooring down. For this step where I get close and I need to cut the piece, I'll show you how it's done. You just lay the first one. Don't actually lock it in place, just set it about where it's going to go. What you can do is take the piece that you're going to cut, put that over top, and leave it about a 1/4 inch of space at the edge. And what you do is you can take a mark and draw it on this piece here, and then this is actually the piece that we're going to cut. This piece I'll just put here, and then the plan is to essentially cut off this end and use this piece for the very last piece of the row. Cut this piece, the instructions say it's best if you're using any sort of blade, like a saw, to cut from the back side. So So I'm going to transfer this line that I made onto the back where this cork board is. Very official way of doing that. All right, now that I've got my line, I'm going to take my saw and cut it out. Okay, so there you have it. I'm going to use this piece as the end piece. The cut edge will go against the wall, and that'll be covered by the baseboards, so you won't see that. And then I can use this piece that I cut to start the next row, and that cut edge will also be cut by the baseboards at the other end. Planned on putting the flooring down the same way as everything else with the thermal barrier underneath, but I realized that this step is going to be used pretty much every single time somebody comes in and out of here, and I just don't want it to move around at all since it's not anchored down. So I've got the heavy duty, extreme heavy duty liquid nails. I'm going to put that down on the step and then reapply the vinyl flooring on top of that, and I think that'll give it a nice good hold, so with all the traffic you won't be able to move. Alright, so I finished everything, I believe. I think it's looking pretty good. Obviously the edges do not look good, but that's what we have this for. This is just a stair nose. I'm going to eventually cut this to the right size. As you can see, that'll hide all the nasty edges and corners pretty well. And also we did buy some of this quarter round molding to go places like here, probably down here as well. That'll hide all the rough edges there. All right, there it is, finished. Alright, thank you everybody for watching that video on installing vinyl plank flooring. I think it turned out pretty well. Some lessons learned along the way. If you can afford some knee pads, definitely do that. That would be nice for your knees. If you're old like me, make sure you take some ibuprofen and aspirin or whatever you need, because your back's probably going to hurt a little bit. Yeah, another thing would be if you could have some help. That would definitely make the time go by a lot quicker. Pretty much did everything all myself, and I'd say it probably took the better part of 2 to 2.5 days, probably about 8 hours a day. But this is a big size room. It's 350 square feet, so it was obviously gonna take a while. Actually laying the floor was the fun part. It's all the cuts and everything that are the most time consuming. The next steps would be to finish the baseboards around the room. That'll hide all the rough cuts and everything. And then we'll just put that quarter round molding in on the stairs and finish that off. We're gonna paint this railing too. I think we're gonna just paint it black, freshen it up a little bit. But other than that, thanks for watching today's video, and I'll see you next time.